Before we can even think about filming in the rain, we need to first make sure that our equipment is protected. Most gear these days is water resistant, but that only helps protect from small amounts of water. It does not mean that it's waterproof. So most importantly, let's make sure we have a rain cover for our camera that we can use while filming. For this, it's best to have a clear cover so that we can still see our camera and what we're doing when adjusting the settings. We also need a second one to cover our camera bag and any other sensitive equipment. And these don't have to be an expensive purchase. A clear garbage bag or a poncho is efficient enough. But if you do want something that is reusable and of better quality, there are specialized rain covers that we can buy. Something else to be aware of is moisture. Even though our camera bag may be covered, moisture has a sneaky way of building up and finding its way into our camera bag, especially in extreme conditions. An easy trick to protect against this at all times is to leave a few of these silica packs in your backpack to absorb any moisture. This may seem obvious, but I'm going to say it anyway. When changing lenses, always do this in a dry place. And if this can't be done, then consider not changing the lens unless it's absolutely necessary. And when finished with any piece of gear, make sure to dry it off thoroughly before packing it away. Because the glass part of our lens can't be covered, it is likely to get hit with rain. But we can use a lens hood or a matte box to help shield the glass. If water still manages to get on the lens, our first instinct might be to take a microfiber cloth and wipe away the drops. However, because these cloths aren't very absorbent, they will leave streaks and smudges. Instead, it's best to use a dry cloth or even your shirt to absorb the droplets, but do this by dabbing them, not wiping. After that, we can then use a microfiber cloth to wipe away any tiny remaining droplets of water. Aside from keeping our camera and our lens dry, how else do we make sure we can still capture great footage? Well, a very important thing to know is how rain is seen by the camera, because it's very different from how our eyes see it. For instance, rain shows up on camera much better at nighttime or in dark places, whereas it's much harder for the camera to capture it during the day and in bright sunlight. In both cases, good backlighting will make it more visible to the camera. If you don't want to see it, here are 3 things that will help hide the rain. Larger apertures to let in more light and more shallow depth of field. A slower shutter speed to let in more light and increase motion blur. And if backlighting helps to show the rain, then front lighting techniques help to make it less visible. And if you do want to see the rain, then you can do the opposite of those 3. Smaller aperture, faster shutter speed, and backlighting. Keep in mind that these will only help. It also depends on how heavy or light the rain is. Heavier rain shows up much better than a light rain. And if it's very heavy rain, then no matter what you do, the camera will see it. And if it's very light rain, it is possible to still film without seeing it at all. It's also worth noting that although the camera may not be able to pick up a light rain falling, it will still be very noticeable when it hits and collects on surfaces or people. So we must keep this in mind for continuity purposes. It won't make much sense to see people or objects covered in water, but then not see any rain falling. Now for audio, well, it's tricky and there's no perfect way to do this. As with most aspects of filmmaking, you'll have to get creative and assess each scenario. If audio isn't necessary for the shot, such as music videos, then amazing. Put your microphone away and keep it safe. But what if you do need audio because there's dialogue? If we're using a shotgun microphone, I suggest trying to find somewhere that it's sheltered from the rain. Under an overhang of sorts, or sometimes shooting close to a building can also work. Or creating a cover for it by using an umbrella, a reflector, or any kind of shield, as long as the rain can't be heard hitting that surface. If there's no shelter, I find that adding a blimp and a windsock can also do a very good job eliminating the sound of a light rain hitting the mic. So in lighter rain scenarios, this may be sufficient. If using a shotgun mic isn't working, then lavalier microphones will be the next best option for getting clean audio. In the days leading up to a shoot, we must check the weather if we know that we'll be shooting outdoors. If we know there's a chance that it could rain, then coming up with a contingency plan is essential. This may mean filming other things that can be done indoors, or finding alternative ways to film what's needed outdoors. And remember, when filming in the rain, it doesn't matter if it's a big production or a small event. Everything moves slower. So give yourself extra time and have patience.